Sorry, I was speaking on mute. Thank you so much, Kalpana Mataji, Krishnan
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Hare Krishna, all of you. Daya Sindhu Prabhuji, Krishnan Prabhuji. Okay, so I'll just do the screen share. Yes. I'll just put the link alone, share the link. And okay. So we're continuing with this Laghu Vaishnava Toshani, which I started yesterday. This is like I'm taking this because now the Damodar month, that is the Kartik month, we celebrate this Damodar Leela. Yashodama ties up Krishna to the grinding mortar. Okay, so it's a wonderful pastime. So we'll discuss on that now. Yesterday I finished, this is in chapter 9 of Laghu Vaishnava Toshani by Srila Jiva Goswami and translated into English by His Holiness Bhanu Swami Maharaj. My humble obeisances to His Holiness Bhanu Swami Maharaj, His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj, His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, and all the acharyas in the parampara. And my humble obeisances to all of you on Zoom, on YouTube, and on Facebook. Thank you so much. Okay, so we are, this Leela is in the 9th chapter of this book. Okay, yesterday we finished the 5 verses. Okay, so yesterday and today we are in verse 6. So yesterday we saw, like, Yashodama, she's like, she's churning the buttermilk, the yogurt. Okay, so because it's a special yogurt and she's churning this so that she can use this. Like butter, she can use, she wants to especially offer to the deity for Krishna's protection and then feed it to Krishna. So always she keeps the best things for Krishna. Okay, so this is a very special day. So people are all getting ready for the festive occasions. So all the maid servants were busy with so much of work, and even the ladies in the house were also busy with so much of work. So only Yashodama is doing this churning of the yogurt, and this is like they have countless number of cows, and there's unlimited milk and then unlimited yogurt. So imagine how very difficult the task is for her to do this single-handedly. But she has so much love for Krishna that she wants to serve Krishna, okay, the best. Okay, so she's working so hard, but she's not feeling the uh, task very difficult because she's doing it with so much of love, and she's singing, and she's so many poems, like she has poetry she's written, and she's sung in the assembly, and she's like also making some instant songs, and then she's singing and churning this yogurt. Okay, so in the meanwhile, the kitchen is not far away, like, and also Krishna, little baby, he walks and he comes to Mother Yashoda, and he's out of affection, like he's just got her from his sleep, like, and he walks up to his mother, and he looks at her and says, he's hungry, like, he wants milk, like, so he just pulls off the yogurt. She's churning the rod, he pulls it off with so much of this thing, and then, like he asks, he wants to drink milk from her with so much affection. He glances at her. So Mother Yashoda is so happy, like, Krishna wants with so much of affection milk from her. So she starts feeding the baby. Then suddenly the in the kitchen the milk is like, going to fluff, like it's just coming out of the vessel, like, overflowing. So she rushes there, and in the meanwhile, she keeps the baby. Actually, his hunger is not satisfied. Still, she keeps the baby down abruptly, and she goes and, like, switches off the stove and come. So the in the commentary it was written yesterday, like, actually she could have carried Krishna with her, but she didn't go because she had to rush, like, and carrying the baby, it'll get delayed. It'll be a little bit late, so she will put him down and go. Okay, so, and also they, like, gave, meaning like, actually because mother, father, usually they want to protect the wealth for the children. So here also, because for these people are the Vaishyas, and for them, the major wealth is the milk and milk products and agriculture. So she didn't want the milk to be wasted, and especially even that milk was also from the special cows. Okay, very special milk, which she wants to offer to the deity and later to Krishna. Okay, so this is the reason. So similarly, motivated by strong affection for Krishna, she tried to protect the milk. Okay, now text 6. Sanjata kopaspuridharunadharam Sandashya dadbir bhajanam bhitva mrisha shrur drushad ashmana raho jaghasa hayyan gavam antaram gataha. Being intensely angry and biting his reddish lips with his teeth, Krishna, with futile tears in his eyes, broke the container of yogurt with a piece of stone. Then he entered a room and began to eat the freshly churned butter in a solitary place. So what did Krishna do? Because Mother Yashoda put him down and went to switch off the stove. He got very angry and he bit his reddish lips. Just a moment. Okay. So now because he's terribly angry because Mother Yashoda put him down abruptly and to where and she went and went to the kitchen. Okay. So Krishna is biting his red lips with his teeth and with futile tears in his eyes, and he's also getting tears in his eyes, like he's feeling so bad, and he broke the container of yogurt with a piece of stone because she was churning that yogurt. Out of anger, he broke this yogurt pot with a stone. Then he entered a room and he began to eat the freshly churned butter in a solitary place. So he entered the storeroom where there is a butter pots. Okay, so it was all hanging there. So he took that. He climbed up the mortar, grinding mortar, and then he reached the butter pot and he took it.
Mataji, when you talk about the curd, no,
Yeah, yeah.
I'm very crazy about curd actually. I love
Oh,
curd like anything.
oh, nice.
And when I used to work in IT company, no,
Uh
so
huh.
lunch I used to bring from home. So when after my lunch is over, I used to go to the cafeteria there. There'll be a curd bowl. There'll be all the bowls. I'll ask specially curd bowl and mix it with sugar. And every day I used to eat it.
Very sweet, Mataji.
After my lunch is over, my
That's your
complete
dessert.
without taking curd. Yeah, that's it.
Wonderful,
Exactly.
wonderful, Mataji. Nice to hear that. So you got Krishna's
That's what it
qualities.
reminded me actually.
Okay.
Every day without curd, it is like no incomplete for me.
Very nice.
Thank you.
Okay. So then, after breaking this pot, he enters the storeroom. There, he nicely takes this freshly churned butter, which is stored there, and then he happily eats all alone. He was eating. Commentary. His display of anger describes the special sweetness of his infant passions filled with affection for his mother. His passion was real since emotions arose within his mind and his actions were performed in private, not displayed for others to see. His tears His tears were useless from a mature viewpoint, but were natural to his infancy. um, Bhatti has written a verse. He did not see her face. His senses were useless, or sometimes Krishna fakes crying, but today the tears were real, Amrisha, because he was unsatisfied. With a stone not making any noise, he made a small hole in the pot and then went into the storeroom. He ate the butter taken from the first churning of the previous day's cow milk. So now the Srila Jiva Goswami is describing Krishna's anger, okay, in this commentary. So his display of, that is Krishna's display of anger, describes the special sweetness of his infant pastimes, filled with affection for his mother. Okay, so his pastime was real. Actually, he's not enacting or anything. It is real. Okay, so his pastime was real since emotions arose within his mind and his actions were performed in private. Okay, so he's not doing it for anybody's sake. He's not acting for anybody's sake. Okay, so he was all alone and he was getting all these emotions not displayed for others to see. Okay, it's not acting like. So sometimes you think because Krishna is the supreme lord and even the fear personified is scared of Krishna, how can be Krishna be scared of his mother? Okay, and also how can he cry like an ordinary little boy, like all that doubts might arise. So it's not that he's acting, he's genuinely having all these emotions. As a little child to his mother, he's displaying all these emotions. So he's not displaying it for others to see. His tears were useless from a mature viewpoint, but were natural to his infancy. See, actually, from a mature viewpoint, it's not needed. Why should one lament, like, or cry out of some fear or anything, or out of anger or anything, any sad emotion? No. So, but it was natural as an infant. Okay, little kids, like, they cry if the mothers don't give them attention, like that. So Krishna is doing the same thing because he's thinking he's the baby of a Mother Yashoda, and Mother Yashoda is thinking he's my son, like any ordinary mother and kid. Okay, they're not thinking, Yashoda is not thinking, oh, he's the supreme lord, like that. Bhatti has written a verse. He did not see her face. His senses were useless. So who's this Bhatti? Let's see. Bhatti flourished 6th or 7th century AD, was Sanskrit poet and grammarian, author of the influential Bhakti Kavya, which is a Mahakavya, great poem or classical epic. Okay, so he's a great Sanskrit poet and grammarian, and he wrote this influential Bhakti Kavya. Okay, so he has written a verse. What does he say? He did not see her face. His senses were useless. So he's telling he didn't see the face of Mother Yashoda and his senses were useless. Or sometimes Krishna fakes crying, but today the tears were real because he was unsatisfied. So sometimes as a kid, even all of us also, sometimes we used to fake, like, so to get some attention or to get something we need as kids, like, once my son was telling Mummy, that time I was really faking, I was not really crying so that I could get what I wanted, like that. Oh, she's so clever, I was thinking in my mind. So like that, kids also do fake crying sometimes. So sometimes Krishna does that also, but this time, like, in this passage, he was really crying because he was unsatisfied. He didn't get sufficient milk from his mother. Like, he's still feeling hungry. And so he was angry and crying. With a stone, not making any noise, he made a small hole in the pot and then went into the storeroom. Because if he makes with the noise, then Mother Yashoda will immediately come and grab him and punish him. So, but he wanted to take revenge. So he just quietly took a stone and without making any noise, he made a small hole in the pot and then went into the storeroom because it's yogurt, like, easily it'll ooze out, like, even if it's a small hole. So he made a small hole and he escaped and he went into the storeroom. He ate the butter taken from the first churning of the previous day's cow milk. So the fresh butter from the previous day. Today's butter she's churning. So yesterday's butter, because it was latest, like, very smart, my Krishna. So he always wants fresh and tasty ones. So that's why we should always offer him what he likes, like, freshly made food, very tasty and delicious. So butter, he took the previous day's butter, which was freshly from the first churning of the previous day's cow's milk. Text 9.7. Uttarya gopi sushrutam paya punaha pravishya samdrishya च दधि amatrakam bhagnam vilokya swasutasya karmatad jahasa tam chapi na tatra pashyati. Mother Yashoda, after taking down the hot milk from the oven, returned to the churning spot, and when she saw that the container of yogurt was broken and that Krishna was not present, she concluded that the breaking of the pot was the work of Krishna and laughed. So now she took off the milk pot, like which was the in which the milk was boiling, because it was it was just overflowing. It was going to overflow. So she immediately rushed and she took the hot milk. She After taking down the hot milk from the oven, she returned to the churning spot again where she was churning. Okay, and when she saw that the container of yogurt was broken and that Krishna was not present, she concluded that the breaking of the pot was the work of Krishna and laughed. Okay, she was laughing at her son's pastimes. She was enjoying actually. Commentary. Sushrutam means well cooked. She saw the broken pot and understood that he had done it since no one else would do that. Since the whole was made skillfully and since it was possible that he was angry. But not seeing him there, she laughed because of his fickle nature, his skill in breaking the pot, his running away in fear, and because of the sound of moving pots and his ankle bells in the next room. So she came, she looked at this broken pot and how skillfully he broke that churning pot, because and also she understood how, like, he was angry, and since it was possible that he was angry. Okay, but then he was not present there, so she laughed because of his fickle nature, his skill in breaking the pot, his running away in fear, and also she heard the and because she heard the sound of the moving pots and his ankle bells in the next room, that is a storeroom. So she's actually amused by all these childish acts. Text 9.8. Any of us will do that. Like, it's even if our kid would have done that, we would be really happy, like, with all these kiddish acts, like text 9.8. उलूखलाङ्ग्रेर् उपरि व्यवस्थितं मर्काय कामं ददतं शिचित् स्थितं हयङ्गवं चौर्यविशङ्किते निरीक्ष्य पश्चात् सुतम् आगमच्चनै. Krishna at that time was sitting on an upside down wooden mortar and was giving butter which had been hanging by a rope to the monkeys as he liked. Because of having stolen, he was looking all around with great anxiety. Mother Yashoda, upon seeing him, very cautiously approached him from behind. So Krishna, at that time, when Mother Yashoda went into the storeroom, what was he doing? He was sitting on an upside down wooden mortar, because the right side we usually grind, no? So he put it on the reverse side so that he can climb onto that, and was sitting so that he can sit on that. So he was sitting on an upside down wooden mortar and was giving butter which had been hanging by a rope to the monkeys as he liked. Because of having stolen, he was looking all around with great anxiety, because he stole that butter, no? So naturally, if we steal something, we'll become very anxious and see if anybody's looking at us, like, if we do something activity which is very secretive, we'll see if somebody's watching this way, that way, out of fear, like, our anxiety. Like that, Krishna was just, because he stole this butter pot, having stolen, he was looking all around with great anxiety, if he's seeing if his mother or somebody's coming over. Mother Yashoda, upon seeing him, very cautiously approached him from behind. So she saw him, so she wanted to catch hold of him. So very cautiously, she was trying to approach him from behind. Commentary. From fear of crows and other animals, he sat in swastika asana and on an overturned mortar. After going into the storeroom and eating some butter, he took the pot which he had been hanging from a rope, indicating his cleverness, and went behind the house by the back door to a solitary spot to fool his mother. His mother approached from behind so he would not see her. So what did he do? He is very intelligent. So he stole this butter. He actually ate some butter and then freshly churned butter. Again, he took some butter from the hanging pot So he went into the storeroom, and then after eating some butter, he took the pot which had been hanging from a rope, indicating his cleverness, and then he went behind the house. How? By the back door. Usually we have like that, no, in our houses, especially in the olden houses, they always have the back door. So there behind that, we have all this garden like that. So there he went there, and he put that. He went to a solitary spot over there to fool his mother so that she'll not spot him, and also because it's outside, like outdoors. So always there are crows and other animals, like you have the cat, rat, and whatever, like sometimes deer, because it's a village also, like you can see many things like the peacocks. So many things will be there, no? So he was out of fear of all these crows and other animals. What did he do? He sat in swastika asana on an overturned mortar, on a means on a higher position. Is sitting, okay, enough. Is keeping his like in this asana is sitting there, and he was happily he was eating. Also been hanging by rope to the monkeys he liked. So he was giving this butter even to the monkeys that he as he liked. Okay, happily he was feeding them also. So, and his mother, she saw that, and she was like quietly approaching him from behind. Text 9.9. Tam atayashtim prasamikshya satvaras tato varuhya pasasara bhitavat gopyan vadhavan nayam apayoginam kshamam praveshtum tapaseritam mana. When Krishna saw his mother, stick in hand, he very quickly got down from the top of the mortar and began to flee as if in fear. Yashoda chased him, whom the minds of yogis in samadhi, fit to merge in Brahman and impelled to him with great concentration, cannot attain. So, when Krishna saw his mother, stick in hand, she was holding a stick and she was coming. He very quickly got down from the top of the mortar and began to flee as if in fear. Okay, so he got down from the mortar and he was running in fear. Yashoda chased him, whom the minds of yogis in samadhi, fit to merge in Brahman and impelled to him with great concentration, cannot attain. So Yashoda chased him, and whom the minds of yogis in samadhi, because even they cannot attain Krishna, fit to merge in Brahman. So these yogis, they want to merge in Brahman. So they try to, uh, they focus their minds on Krishna, the minds of yogis in samadhi, fit to merge in Brahman and impelled to him with great concentration, cannot attain. So with great concentration, they're trying to attain Krishna, but means they're trying to focus on Krishna, but they cannot, okay, attain him. But Yashoda, what she's doing, she's taking a stick and chasing him. Commentary. He saw her vividly Prasamikshya because she held a stick in her hand. It was impossible that she could have stick the stick to punish him, and he had never seen this before. So how can Yashodama loves Krishna so much, and like how can she take a stick and try to beat him? And even Krishna is shocked, like she has never done this to him before. He looked around to understand the situation and then fled. So so he saw this way, that way, and he was trying to flee away from her. He was running away from her. To fool her, he ran to the main gate of the house where many people gather near the Yamalarjuna trees. So he wanted to fool her. So he ran to the main gate of the house where many people gather near the Yamalarjuna trees. He only appeared to be afraid, Bhitavat, since he had no real fear internally because he knew his mother had the greatest affection for him. So now he's acting as if he's afraid. Okay, since he had no real fear internally, because he knew his mother as the greatest had the greatest affection for him. He knew his mother's nature, or he showed fear like that of others. Okay, this act revealed to his mother the sweetness of his infant pastimes. Knowing that, knowing that, um, on the day everyone had gone from the main gate, she chased him. Though the mind in samadhi is capable of merging with Brahman or another form of the Lord and is impelled towards him with concentration, tapasa, it cannot achieve him. This will be made clear later. So, on that day, everyone had gone from the main gate. She chased him. Okay. So, though the mind in samadhi, like for the yogis, like, who are trying to merge in the Brahma Jyoti, for them, or in any other form of the Lord, they're impelled towards him with concentration. Okay, because to attain, I told you, to attain the result of either a yoga or Ashtanga yoga or a jnana yoga, we need little bit bhakti. So for that, they need to focus on the Supreme Lord with lot of concentration. Even at that time, it's very difficult for them to attain Krishna, to achieve him. This will be made clear later. Don't worry about this. We'll discuss this later. Nayam sukhapu bhagavan dehinam gopika sutta Jnaninam Chatma Bhutanam Yatha Bhakti Matam Iha. Krishna, the son of Mother Yashoda, is accessible to devotees engaged in spontaneous loving service, but he is not as easily accessible to mental speculators, to those striving for self-realization by severe austerities and penances, or to those who consider the body the same as the self. Srimad Bhagavatam 10.9.21. So, Krishna is the son of Mother Yashoda and is accessible to the devotees engaged in spontaneous loving service. That is the Raga Bhakti. Okay. So, only the Bhakti Marg is available. Bhakti only for the devotees is accessible. Engaged, especially to those engaged in Raganuga Bhakti, okay, that is the spontaneous loving service, but he is not as easily accessible to mental speculators, to those striving for self-realization by severe austerities and penances, or to those who consider the body the same as the self. And is not easily accessible to mental speculators, that is the jnanis, to those striving for self-realization by severe austerities. They're doing and penances. They're doing so much of austerities and penances for thousands of years, okay? Or to those who consider the body the same as the self, or for the materialists, like, because we consider the body as the self. Actually, the outer gross and subtle bodies are not the self, okay? Srimad Bhagavatam 10.9.21. So, in short, is not available easily to this jnanis, yogis, or the mental or to the materialist, okay? But is easily available, accessible only to the devotees, especially in the Raga Marg, okay? Yashoda pursued him and caught up to him step by step, Anu. So much for a good fortune of having him sleep on her lap. Her good fortune of chasing him when he fled cannot be understood at all by the greatest yogis. She had greater fortune than all other devotees because she was able to catch him directly. So she pursued him and caught him caught up to him step by step. Okay. So much for a good fortune of having him sleep on her lap. So she could even put him on her lap and put him to sleep. How fortunate she is. And a good fortune of chasing him. Forget about that also. She's punishing him also. She's chasing him when he fled. Uh, this cannot be understood by the greatest yogis because they're trying to even get a glance of Krishna. Forget about getting Krishna. Even they can't even get the the effulgence of Krishna's toenail also. They can't even get the vision of the toenail of Krishna. Okay. Then what about the vision of Krishna? Okay. But Mother Yashoda here, she is happily putting him on her lap and like, putting him to sleep, or she's chasing him with a stick. Is this like, they can't even imagine such a thing at all. And how fortunate Yashodama is. Okay. I think I'll stop with that. Thank you so much, Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. Because it's
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Damodar month, I wanted to take at least for some time. Hare Krishna.
Thank you,
Thank you,
thank
Kalpana
you.
Mataji.
Thank
Hare
you,
Krishna.
Prabhu.
Thank you, Krishnan Prabhuji. Thank you, Daya Sindhu Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.